Radiant Brit. I don't, okay, first off, like, I know that she's made a lot of videos about me and she's critiqued me. I know she's had a lot of views off of me, and I've literally never watched any videos of her.
Dear Jan. Hey you guys, it's Britt. Tonight I am here to share a couple of thoughts regarding a live stream that Katie Joy did, and I was mentioned, so I felt like I would share my thoughts on this video. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so Katie Joy went live tonight, and I actually had a few people send me this immediately because I was actually mentioned directly. Her little stands love me and my channel, as you can probably imagine. The first 40 or so minutes of this video, she's discussing a negative interaction that she had between her and a former moderator of hers. Basically, this moderator was playing both sides of the fence. She was being a moderator and friendly with KJ, but she was actually, you know, out to get KJ as well and talking shit, and had a whole channel dedicated to Katie Joy. The first thing that I want to hit on in this video is channels that dedicate all of their content to Katie Joy. Here's the thing. When I did my first Without a Crystal Ball video, I actually did a follow-up video. Once I realized that that video was gaining some traction and getting views and, you know, it was getting me some subscribers, I wanted to make it very clear that my channel was not going to be a Katie Joy commentary channel. First of all, she's not very interesting to me, aside from the dumpster fires that she creates with her online presence. And I like to spend my social media currency learning lessons, having conversations, learning new things on YouTube, or learning about new things on YouTube. I don't just like to hate watch people. That's not my thing. That's not what I like to do. And I've said in other videos, I have to be especially selective with who I watch on YouTube now, because I'm not only working full-time, I work a full-time job that does not allow me to just clock out at 5 o'clock and come home and kick my feet up. I need to be available for my clients, and there are times where I'll need to log on in the evening. So that's not really relevant, but it's just to say that the people that I choose to watch on YouTube are, it's very intentional who I decide to watch, only because of my full-time job, limited free time in the evenings, Monday through Friday, but also running my own YouTube channel, which I try to be very consistent with my content, and also chatting with you guys in DMs, emails, on Instagram, in the comments section, so on and so forth. Now, I'm not ever going to say that I have all the answers or I'm doing it right and someone else is doing it wrong. Not going to happen. But I will say that the people who decide to dedicate all of their content to picking apart every little thing that Katie Joy does is exactly what I always told myself I would never be on YouTube. The follow-up video that I made after my first one was actually making that point very clear to anyone who subscribed to my channel, because I want my content to be very transparent for my audience, and I want people to know what they're getting when they decide to subscribe to my channel and stick around. I am not a Katie Joy hate channel, and I am not a private investigator that follows around every move that Katie makes just so that I can pick it apart and have a monetized video about it. No matter what, I know that Katie has done some really negative things on this platform and on other platforms. I will never condone doxing. I will never look at it like, oh, well, she's bad, so she's having something bad happen to her. While I do believe in karma, I don't think that karma should come with someone's personal safety being put at risk. That's just not the way I roll, and I don't like it. So doxing is never going to be something that is going to be karma in my eyes. So basically what Katie explains in this video is that her former moderator was playing both sides of the fence. Obviously, it's no longer a moderator now, but this person has a whole channel monetized full of Katie Joy videos. So the channel name is Tea Detox. Her name is out there, but I don't know if she has publicly stated her name, so I'm not going to repeat it on this video. Of course, I will link a Reddit thread down below so that you guys can go and read over there. Before we focus on the second part of Katie's video where I was mentioned, I want to read some of the comments that are coming in on Reddit about this whole situation. Katie put out a tweet that said, "Just found out that one of my ex-mods owns a Twitter account that terrorized me this summer by posting a photo and claiming to be in my driveway. Photo redacted. She claims she didn't post this, but she admits it's her account. She has a channel by the same name. I feel sick." This account said, so I went for a walk today on your side of the street. I stopped in your driveway to take a picture of the beautiful sky across the street. Someone help me out with my poetry. I suck. Katie Joy, you're a writer. Disclaimer, no, this house isn't across the street from you. I digress. So, like I said, it doesn't matter what... all the bad things that Katie has done, I do not agree with someone's safety being jeopardized or them feeling unsafe in their home. And I think that anyone with a soul would see it the same way. There are many other ways that karma can teach us lessons without it being something that puts your, home is a safe word. It's a safe zone. It's where we go to seek safety and peace at the end of a day. And I just don't ever think that home should equate, maybe someone is outside. What if someone is looking in my windows? Like, that is never, ever, ever going to be okay, in my opinion. So I want to read, like I said, a few of the comments. People are not sympathetic towards Katie in this position, which I could have expected. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate to see the reputation that she has online. Even when something like this happens, people are skeptical to believe you, or they believe you and they don't feel bad for you at all. And I am not saying that I feel bad for her. I'm just saying that even if she has had a horrible online presence, having your safety put at risk is not okay in my book. Okay, so this comment is regarding the fact that this Tea Detox has so many Katie Joy videos. I think that there are 38 videos on her channel over the course of, I think, 4 weeks. That's a lot. So someone said, if making videos about someone for profit is bad, then she might as well delete her own channel. And that's true. I completely agree with that. As far as, in the live stream, she mentioned monetized a lot. And Katie Joy has built her entire net worth off of talking about people on the internet and making countless videos about some people specifically. The next comment says, nobody is your friend, Katie. You're incapable of having any friends because you're awful. What goes around comes around. I hope this chick does to you exactly what you have done to so many others. I am here for it. And while I completely agree that Katie has done some bad things, in my personal opinion, I just don't know if a dox for a dox is the way that we should go about handling things on the internet. I don't know. I just put myself in anyone else's shoes, and if someone doxed me, would my first reaction be to dox them if I knew like where they lived or their phone number? I can't say that I would leak personal information, because that is the ultimate bottom line for me. Is if you are legitimately putting someone's safety at risk over having an issue with them on the internet, that is a really, really bad case scenario to be in. Someone said, of course, KJ would use this as another poor me story when all we know, she could have had her doing this to try to put a rift in the community. Since T is already playing victim, lying, reporting things as fact with zero proof, defaming, claiming docs by a certain person who, again, zero proof, acting like SS that show nothing, screenshots that show nothing, or a person accused of doxing her with no meaning was proof, contradicting herself. KJ plant for twofold spy, troublemaker. I don't understand that comment. Someone said you get the friends you deserve. Okay, so we're gonna listen to a little bit of this video, and I will read the live chat once her little subscribers start mentioning my name. I thought it was hilarious. So many people sent me this over in the course of like 10 minutes saying that I was mentioned. So I did want to check it out and just see what was being said. I just think it's hilarious that someone the size of Katie Joy's channel is worried about someone like me who has 6,000 subscribers. Like, I don't know. I just think it's very funny. Like I said, I want to make this very clear in this video. There are a lot of people who look at Katie Joy's safety as trash and it doesn't matter. I think at a certain point you have to say, even if she's done all of these negative things and carried herself in such a toxic manner on the internet, if something actually happened where someone who had all of these resentments toward her showed up at her house and something played out that ended badly, you know, none of that is worth internet beef, internet drama, whatever you want to call it. I look at it like we can all commentate and throw shade and spill tea and talk about it all day long, but once you take it from the internet into real life, it can be very, very scary what some people will do, all because something happened on the internet and they feel that strongly about it. They're willing to risk their freedom, their own safety, and it can just get very dark and it can go downhill very quickly.
So every single creator right now that has a T channel that's making commentary about me, that is discrediting me, that's ruining my credibility, that's spreading lies about me, this is all about, it's a game. And this is why I try not to talk about other commentary channels for the most part, because honestly, there's room for everyone. I would rather talk about things that are not related to commentary. I would rather not talk about or judge how other people commentate. Like, I don't want to be the content police of how other commentators can commentate.
Yeah, but she'll strike channels and go after people who have made comments about her in the past.
Yesterday, I posed a question about Micah Stauffer, but it was actually not in criticism of any creators that cover her. It was more a question of, is it okay to deplatform someone, which was a valid question. I don't care if anyone wants to cover Micah, and if, you know, someone's a challenge podcast, I don't. If Josh wants to cover her forever, I don't care. Like, that does not bother me. But like, my only question was, is it okay to deplatform someone? Because that's something that we talk about a lot.
I think deep down, my opinion, I think that she is bothered by the following that Josh has based off of his Micah videos. I have, you know, way back in like May when I first discovered Katie Joy, her channel was around the same size as it is now. So I realized that her subscribers fluctuate a lot because people are around for 2 weeks, 2 months, a lot of them don't stick around. And if you look at her engagement versus her subscriber count, I think that those numbers speak for themselves.
Whether or not we should really be talking about deplatforming, because that's actually a violation of TOS. So is that okay? And I'm not here to say that
I'm pretty sure people are allowed to speculate on whatever it is that they want to. You cannot, or you shouldn't, just come out and say, deplatform this person, but people are allowed to speculate all they want. There's nothing wrong with speculation, especially if you're not speculating about, saying that someone committed a crime when they didn't, or, anything like that. As far as just speculating, it's exactly what people have done with Katie with the lawsuit, speculating, is she going to be deplatformed or will she not be?
You feel like she should be, that's your opinion. I just don't believe in that. Don't go against her in retaliation. Don't. This is exactly why I can't trust people. Thank you.
Nobody can trust you, though. So it's a two-way street. But the whole thing is that the history of Katie has been so long and so dramatic and so crazy. She's fucked up on so many different occasions. Don't act like you're over here with, the halo and the angel wings and you've done your very best on YouTube and people are just out to get you. You reap what you sow. And like I said, I still don't agree with someone's personal safety being jeopardized, but you reap what you sow on YouTube. Don't be an asshole.
YouTube is getting out of hand lately. And this is my issue right now with the commentary community. And this is just my sort of like olive branch here.
Olive branch. Let's listen. Olive branch from Katie to commentary channels.
Everyone, there's a place for all of us. We all have the ability to.
But if there's a place for all of us, then why did she have such a hate parade for Leslie Bass back when they were around the same channel size covering the same things, and she did so many bad things to Leslie, including putting out her financial information? I covered that in a video a couple weeks ago.
Offer content for our subscribers. I was watching a video yesterday where someone blatantly said that I don't have credible sources and I don't have sources at all. And that's not true. If you want to criticize me and say that my content is not sourceable, you should provide evidence, not just make a claim without evidence and just say, well, we've learned that Katie's not credible. Based on what? You have not provided.
People have learned that you're not credible because you're consistently being caught in lies. It's not that hard to figure out, Katie.
Evidence. My Micah Stauffer coverage was not credible. It wasn't because I spoke to her because her neighbors contacted me, because I interviewed her former coworker.
Nobody's worried about contacting Katie. All of these, listen, you can't be a commentary channel and have all the sources. Teen Mom sources, Duggar sources, other reality TV sources. Like, you might get lucky and get a source, but you can't have all the sources from all the different topics that you cover. Get real.
These were actually sources that verified that they knew her and provided me evidence that they knew her and came to me, and I did not put out anything without any verification that these people knew her. So I was very careful in my coverage, and I wanted to make sure that I covered all my bases. So no, my coverage was not credible. It actually was credible. That's why.
Well, of course she's not going to call her own content not credible.
The New York Magazine interviewed me, and that's why the New York Magazine was able to use some of the exact same sources that I used. I provided
just because a magazine comes to you and wants to do some little story, I'll be completely honest with you guys. Not all we're not talking about brain surgeons here. We're talking about magazines. Do you think that like the Daily Mail is, the end all be all when you read all of these trashy tabloids? That doesn't matter.
Information. So no, it comes down to, if you are mad that I've done a story and I've scooped you, or if you're out scooped, just work harder. If you want to do,
Ooh, she sounds like an MLM hun there. Work harder.
get sources. But I do have sources. I've cultivated sources. I've spent such a hard, like, my channel didn't grow because I just wanted to make things up. It's because I took the time to engage with the people that I was covering. It's why I've established relationships with, various, people that I've covered, whether it's Mackenzie Edwards, or whether it's Amy Duggar, or even Derek Dillard's mom, or even interviewing Derek Dillard, or, interviewing Amanda Householder.
She really thinks that she is a journalist through and through. Like, hearing her talk about herself in such a positive light here is really going to show how, in my opinion, how delusional she is, because she actually thinks that she's a journalist. She actually thinks that the things that she's doing on her channel should be admired by people and respected by all other commentary channels.
Like, none of that is accidental. But at every single turn, these creators are trying to discredit me and message these people and say that I'm a liar.
But when you get caught lying, people are going to call into question everything that comes after those multiple lies. So if you get, if you tell a white lie one time and you explain it and you're upfront and honest, I think that you can turn that around. But when you're caught consistently lying and lying and lying and stretching the truth and, doing what she did with Tati, let's not go down that rabbit hole tonight. But when you do that over and over and over, everything that you do is going to be called into question.
This was a very calculated personal attack on me. Thank you.
She does the same thing to other people, but like I said, that doesn't mean that her personal safety should be jeopardized or she should have to feel scared when she's in her own home. I just don't look at it like an eye for an eye when it comes to stuff like that, but that's just my opinion.
So don't engage with her. Don't send hate to her. But also to these channels that are maliciously spreading information, if you're going to put out a claim, just provide evidence. That's all I'm asking. If you're going to say that I'm not credible, show why.
Okay, but that could be flipped back on her, where everything that she says, you need to provide evidence, Katie. So all of these really lavish claims that you like to make about these reality stars and YouTubers, then you need to make sure that you're coming to your videos with all of the receipts for every single thing that you say going forward. You can't tell other people to bring the receipts and then you're not bringing the receipts.
Don't go based off of what you've heard manufactured 47 different times. Because at some point,
says the person that uses Twitter and, dumb shit for her source.
It'll come out that I wasn't lying about all of this, that I was credible, that I was sourcing information.
But we hear this all the time. It's just like when she said all the truth bombs were going to come out when her side responded to Tati, and then her side responded to Tati, and we're all sitting there confused because all that she did was say, oh, well, you can't sue me unless you sue Shane and Jeffrey too. And don't forget, her sources in that response were other YouTube videos, including one of Trisha Paytas saying Tati is dumb.
And that I used sources for my information. And we don't have to tear each other down as content creators. We don't have to destroy each other's credibility.
Now, I will say I kind of agree with her here. I don't think that as content creators, we should be tearing each other down. But if she's saying tearing each other down under the umbrella of calling things into question or calling a spade, that's not tearing someone down, that's holding someone accountable. That is seeking the truth out of YouTubers and commentary channels. Tearing someone down would be making fun of her hair or, going hard on her physical appearance. These are things that I've never supported and will never support. So I agree, let's not tear each other down, but let's hold each other accountable. And if you think I'm a pathological liar, then let's have a conversation about it. But wanting the truth is not tearing someone down. And I think that that's what so many commentary channels call out when it comes to Katie, is either, is she lying? Why was she being a jerk? Or why is she covering stuff that she shouldn't be covering, i.e. the Sophie case, and monetizing the video and calling the little girl a brat?
We don't. You can put your content out and you can make your content without doing a job. There's so many things to talk about. Why does the commentary channels need to go after other commentary channels? The only reason I can think is
the commentary channels that I follow go after other YouTubers. I mean, I can speak for myself here. I can't really speak for anyone else. But when I'm doing commentary, I'm talking about other YouTubers. People who make videos, whether it's beauty videos, someone like Nikocado Avocado, calling out these issues with family vloggers. I do talk about Katie. I guess you could consider her a commentary channel. But I don't know of, at least from the people that I support and I watch, I don't see a lot of commentary channels only focusing on other commentary channels. I know that BX Beast Boy has completely gone overboard with his coverage of Without a Crystal Ball and Dad Challenge podcast. But like I said, out of people that I actually support, I do not see a lot of that based on my experience.
To diminish credibility to gain subscribers so that you can have a part of their platform.
Okay, but Katie makes videos about public figures and monetizes the videos and has grown her platform off of talking about other people. But the commentary channels can't do it to her. So we're rounding the same old shit train with Katie when it comes to the hypocrisy and the fact that I'm allowed to do it, but you're not. And I do agree. I don't think that it's a very good idea if you want long-term growth on YouTube to build your channel only talking about Katie, because there are people who are already done with Katie. They're tired of hearing about it. So if that's all the content that you're able to come to the table with, I don't think that you're going to be able to have a long-term time on this platform. That's just my opinion. But if that's what people want to do, that's what people want to do. Do I agree with it? Not necessarily, but I'm also on a completely different growth pattern, and I have a completely different goal in mind for my channel.
If you want to talk about things, be objective, be balanced. It's really not that hard, but there's so many other things to talk about than other commentary channels. That's why I don't talk about commentary channels. I talk about sister wives. I talk about
I mean, yeah, you talk about the Duggars and about the sister wives to death. Like, how many Duggar videos does this lady have on her channel? How many videos about teen mom stuff does this lady have on her channel? Like, So you're saying, okay, well, I don't talk about commentary channels, but I talk about the same 3 reality TV shows every single day, multiple times a day. So that sounds more like a personal preference. I couldn't care less about either because I would be bored out of my mind making content about the same reality TV shows, but I'd also be bored talking about the same commentary channels. And I know that other people would be bored from it too.
Trending news stories. I talked about Tom Cruise this week, and I talked about Lydia Plath, and I did a video about a reporter that breached every ethical rule and got involved with a person she was covering and is in love with him, and he's a con artist.
Okay, so she's patting herself on the back. Someone in the comments said they're doing it because they're building their platforms literally on your back. Now, if there are channels that are strictly talking about Katie, sure, but you could also look at Katie and say, well, she's built her platform off talking about the same small group of reality TV stars. Specifically, I understand that she had a big channel boost when she talked about Amber Portwood, and I don't know for sure, allegedly leaked some sort of audio file or something like that. I wasn't around back then. I know that she also had another uptick when she talked about Micah Stauffer. So, you know, what goes around comes around. Like, Katie's talking about these people and building her channel off them. Commentary channels are talking about Katie building their platform off her. Even if I don't agree with solely focusing on Katie because I think that it's boring, she also has gotten where she is because she's talked about other people. What does it matter if they're a reality TV star or YouTuber? Who cares?
There are so many things out there to cover. You don't have to cover every creator that are doing your job. Because at some point, if all you're doing is going after other creators that do your job, you start to look like someone that just wants to remove the competition. And we don't have.
Yeah, but Katie is not in competition with any other commentary channel that I know of because she talks about the same dumb shit day in and day out. So most of the commentary channels that I know and love are not talking about Sister Wives, Teen Mom, and the Duggars. They're talking about beauty gurus, or look at like D'Angelo Wallace. Like, he is absolutely amazing. He's not covering any of this nonsense. So the whole idea that Katie thinks that she has so much competition, or thinks that other people think she's competition, is delusional. And by the way, I want to read this comment. Nadia168. I would say hi to Nadia, but she's actually blocked from my channel because she spewed the worst hateful message in my comments back when I did my first Without a Crystal Ball video. So she is blocked permanently. But she said, it's true that there are some seriously obsessed people with Katie on YouTube that need a psychiatric evaluation. Daily hate watching and perpetuate lies and hate is very unhealthy. It's very toxic. It's funny that she would say that. I wish that I had a screenshot of the comment that she left me back in July. It was disgusting and very scary. But for Nadia to say that, I don't think that, even if I disagree with the amount of videos that some people make on Katie, I don't think that that equates to a psych evaluation. I think that that's being completely blown out of proportion. And as far as perpetuating lies and hate, again, I've seen some of these channels that have all Katie Joy content, and to me, it seems more like people calling her out on her bullshit, not necessarily coming up with lies. They're calling her out on her lies. I don't really see them coming up with their own lies.
Have to remove the competition. We could actually do so much better if we worked together and we supported one another.
Yes, but Yes, but nobody wants to work with you, Katie, because you're so mean. You have burned every bridge that you have come across on YouTube. And nobody wants to be anywhere near you. In fact, there are some people that come out with commentary videos against Katie just so that their subscribers know exactly where they stand.
If we actually uplifted one another, if we shouted each other's channels out,
shouted each other's channels out? Are you crazy? You actually think that Katie, who thinks that everything is all about her, everyone's out to get her, you think she's actually going to sit up on her platform and shout another channel out that's covering the same type of stuff that she is? Never, not in a million years.
all of our channels would grow. And it's not my place to say that I don't like how a creator is covering me, or it's not my place to say that I don't like how a creator covers a certain topic. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If people want to watch those creators and they get something from them, that's their choice. I'm not going to go on my channel at all anymore and be like, I don't like the way that so-and-so covered this story and here's why. The only reason I would do something like that is because I'm either feeling petty or I want to diminish their, doing something.
Someone said they're doing it for views. I've seen 3 different channels getting monetized on your name. Listen here. People make YouTube videos for views, some more than others, but if you're making videos and hoping that nobody watches them, then why the fuck are you making YouTube content? Now, as far as channels getting monetized because they're making Without a Crystal Ball videos, I had a huge uptick in my subscriber count because of my Katie Joy video. But listen, the thing is that people enjoy watching a dumpster fire and they enjoy listening to people commentate on the dumpster fire. That's just part of YouTube. So the thing is, though, is you can really look and see with someone's engagement rate what their videos that don't contain Without a Crystal Ball do. And if you look on my own channel, my engagement is pretty decent considering I have 6,000 subscribers. My videos that have nothing to do with Katie still get really good views. So I do think that those people that only make Katie Joy content, I do believe that they will run into some issues in the future if they want to start vlogging or share their opinions on other stuff, because they have built an audience of people who only want to talk about Katie Joy. That's why I've always made it a point to have a grab bag of stuff. I can't help that my most viewed videos are about Without a Crystal Ball, but I talk about many other things on my channel, and that's why I always think that it's so funny when people come and they're like, oh, you're obsessed with Katie Joy. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Do you know what I'm obsessed with? I'm obsessed with my dog. I'm obsessed with really good makeup. I am obsessed with Orbe hair care. I am obsessed with going to Anthropologie and spending $30 on a candle once in a while. Those are the things that I am obsessed with. I am obsessed with a really good cup of hot chocolate when it's 20 degrees outside. My obsession is so far from Katie Joy. I make these videos because it's what my audience wants to see, but luckily I am in a position where my audience also wants to see everything else that I talk about. So I am very grateful to have the subscribers that I have that want to listen to a little bit of everything. So I do think that some channels will kind of hit a roadblock when they want to make other videos. But I think that's also why it's important as commentary channels to make sure that you are covering different topics and giving people a little bit of everything.
They're doing it for views. Thank you for becoming a member. It must be so sad to not be able to come up with your own content. Yeah.
Not to be able to come up with your own content. What the fuck does Katie do? All she does is talk about other people. How is that coming up with her own content? You act like she's writing sketches and, doing gymnastics routines in her living room. All she does is talk about other people. How is that coming up with your own content? Commentary channels talk about Katie. Katie talks about other people. The wheel goes round and round. It's not that hard to see.
Maybe there's more channels now because people are out of work and bedroom has driven them to be hungry. I really don't know. Were you in anyone's DMs trying to gain trust for content? No, you weren't. This is gross. No, I wasn't. They're doing this because they're building their platforms on my back. And it's a witch hunt.
Oh, poor Katie. It's such a witch hunt. Get real. This is ridiculous. As much as I do not condone someone's safety being put into jeopardy, I also cannot stand when someone plays the victim and someone cries and is saying that there's a witch hunt. Like, you decided to put yourself out on YouTube and you had full control of how you carry yourself on this website and on this platform. And that carries over to Instagram and Twitter as well. The proof is in the pudding with Katie on everything that she's done, every shitty thing that she's ever said, all of the things that she's done that she had no business doing, all of the things that she has covered that she shouldn't have covered. And then when commentary channels make videos about her and they're getting views because people like watching the dumpster fire, then all of a sudden it's a witch hunt? No, that's not how it fucking works.
This has crossed so many lines. And again,
You've crossed so many lines. Katie has crossed so many lines on so many different occasions. That is unacceptable.
I don't care if you want to make videos about me.
Nobody needs permission to make videos about Katie. And I'll go back to the thing that I said a minute ago. Do I think that commentary channels that devote all of their content to Katie are going to run into some issues in the future? I do, but that's part of what you sign up for when you get on YouTube. If someone wants to make commentary videos about me, it is what it is. As long as they're not completely annihilating me or putting my safety at risk, that's part of what I signed up for. But I also remember that I have full control on how I carry myself on this platform. And, if you don't have any skeletons in your closet, then you really don't have to worry about commentary channels coming out and talking about you. Someone said, do they realize how desperate they look by covering other creators constantly? Well, that's the world of commentary. So as a commentary channel, you can choose to focus on one creator, like some people do, or you can focus on a slew of creators, like some people do. Or you can run your channel like I do, where I have a little bit of beauty, a little bit of vlogging, a little bit of family vlogger commentary, a little bit of YouTuber commentary. You can have a grab bag of stuff you can throw in your skincare routine. It is what it is. Like, there's no desperation. Do I think that some people go overboard? Yes, but there's YouTubers that go overboard with every type of content on YouTube.
There is a place for you, and you can build your channel by talking about content creators or talking about, whatever it is that your niche is and what your audience is. But I honestly don't understand why so many people are posting about me, because it's profitable right now.
Okay, Katie, but you talk about people so it's profitable to you. Why else would you have monetized a Sophie video as soon as the story hit? Why else would you talk about the Duggars 18 times a day? Because it's profitable. So stop pointing the finger and stop playing the victim. Like, I'm actually getting very annoyed watching this video because the hypocrisy is back. It's front and center. And for her to sit there and say, oh, well, everyone's talking about me. What the hell do you do all day? All you do is sit at that desk and go on live and talk about other people. Some which never asked, nor do they deserve to have you talking about them.
I've probably made some mistakes. I have made some
Many
mistakes. I am not retaliating and getting mad at channels. I'm not yelling at channels. I don't care. I made a lot of mistakes early on. I felt very attacked and backed into a corner, but honestly, like, I have been keeping it to myself, doing my own thing, and just trying to stay with it. It's been hard. My channel has taken a huge hit. I'm not going to lie, that hasn't been easy, but I also know that I didn't get here by accident, and I'm not going to stop because a few people are mad at me. I'm not going to stop making content because other people are upset with me. Like, that's not how this works. You don't stop because people don't like you. And you don't have to go off the internet based on lies.
No, but the topic of deplatforming has sort of been in this bubble around Katie because of the way that she has covered things. The idea of being deplatformed is not something that most people just run around YouTube and speculate on and talk about on a consistent basis. Think about how many commentary channels there are on YouTube, and think about how many commentary videos there are on YouTube. She has done it completely different than anyone else, and that is why the subject of deplatforming and Without a Crystal Ball coexist so much in a consistent basis. This lady, Sherry, says Radiant Brit. So this is where they start talking about me. And then this other lady said, Deliria, Radiant Brit is creepy to me, like obsessed with Katie. And there's all kinds of misspellings and all this shit in this comment. So like I said, I've already told you guys what I'm actually obsessed with. Katie Joy is definitely not even on the list. Here's the thing. If anyone looks at my coverage of Without a Crystal Ball and thinks creepy or obsessed, I would encourage you to go back to elementary school or pick up a dictionary and look at what both of those words actually mean. Because my coverage of Katie has been fair and honest, and I'm not just saying that because it's me and it's my channel. Like, it's not that at all. If I wanted to rip her a new one, or if I wanted to degrade her on the internet, I could, but that's not how I roll. Because you see, when you have compassion and a soul for other human beings, you're allowed to give them criticisms without insulting them or tearing them down or making them feel like a piece of shit. So that has never been my goal. So Sherry and Deliria, they're both members, obviously, because this was members only. One day, both of them might see the light. They might not. But for anyone to label me as creepy or obsessed tells me exactly where they're at, and as far as their decision-making skills. I think that I can draw a conclusion that they have no fucking clue what they're talking about.
Not to make content about me, that's totally fine. If you feel like this is going to make you views, that's fine. But don't be frustrated when I actually like stand up for myself and say this is not okay, or this has crossed a line.
I think that she's allowed to say when things cross the line. And like I said, if, on the topic of personal safety, I would say that that is crossing a line. Even if some people are going to look at it like it's an eye for an eye, that's not how I look at it, because if we're going to look at it that way, things can become very, very bad very, very quickly. So I do think that she's allowed to come out and say this crossed a line or, whatever. I don't think that anyone has ever said we're allowed to do this and you're not allowed to say anything. Like, at least not to my knowledge. I could be wrong.
And I think people, I mean, I was like really horrified that I shared that I had CPS called on my house.
Someone said, why, this is how dumb people are. Why would a creator's content be based on talking about another creator? And in parentheses, not you, I mean others. Okay, so you're saying that you're a member on this channel where this person does nothing but talk about other people. And then you're wondering why another YouTuber would do something similar, but because we're talking about your favorite, now all of a sudden it's a problem. So dumb. Okay, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is pretty funny. Let's listen.
Radiant Brit. Okay, first off, like, I know that she's made a lot of videos about me and she's critiqued me. I know she's had a lot of views off of me, and I've literally never watched any videos of hers. Don't go after her. If you don't like her, just don't watch her videos. Trisha wants.
And that's literally all that she says about me. But here's the problem, Katie. So she claims that she doesn't know who I am, or she doesn't watch my videos. And, yeah, my videos do get a lot of views. We've already discussed that. I cannot help if that's what people want to see, but that is not all that I make. And I would say, in comparison to other commentary channels, I make literally this many videos about Without a Crystal Ball compared to the other content that I cover. When you look at some other channels who, their whole channel is Katie Joy stuff. But like I said, that's boring to me, and I would never, ever, ever be able to create a channel just focusing on one person because it's dumb, in my opinion. The problem is when she wants to act like she doesn't know who I am. Back in July, Uni Rock, when her and Uni were still best friends forever, Uni did a live stream where he tore apart my first video on Katie Joy. It was a shit show. Some of you might know what I'm talking about. Katie was in that live stream giving Uni Rock super chats for ripping me apart. So don't act like you don't know who I am, or, oh, I've only seen her name in passing. Katie is very familiar with who I am, but in my personal opinion, here's the thing. She would never admit this, but here's what I think Katie looks at my channel as. I think that if she could have a moment of honesty with herself, she would see that my videos are fair and concise, and I bring fair criticisms to the table. I'm not being a mean girl or acting like a royal bitch to her on my channel. I come at things with a very level mind, and I know how to articulate my thoughts about a certain subject. So if she could have a moment of honesty, I think that she would be able to see it that way as well. But she would never admit that, especially on a public platform. It's just ridiculous. I think the word obsessed is what really gets me. Let's just look up the definition. Preoccupy or fill the mind of someone continually, intrusively, into a troubling extent. Like I said, refer back to my list of things that I'm actually obsessed with. The whole thing is when I make a video about Katie, I do the video, I edit it, and I upload it, and I let you guys have conversations in the comment section. I will like comments and reply to them once in a while, but to say that someone is obsessed, I think of, you guys know that I watch true crime all the time. There are actual people that are obsessed with other people out there, and to compare me to someone who is obsessed with someone is asinine. And I think that it just goes to show how ignorant her subscribers are. So we're going to keep this show going. And that's going to be the end of this video because I've had enough of Katie for today. But I hope that all of my points made sense, as I always say. I don't believe in anyone's personal safety being put at risk, but again, this video was filled with hypocrisies, and once I heard that my name was mentioned, I did want to share this with you guys. We can all have a laugh about it because at the end of the day, I know where my heart is and where my morals stand at the end of the day. I will continue to run my channel the way that I do, with a massive grab bag of different content, because there are some subscribers I've had that have been around since I had 100 subscribers, and they might like watching my anti-hauls or listening to products that I regret buying. But then there's also people who discover me because of Without a Crystal Ball, the first video, but they've stuck around because they like my car chats, or they like hearing about family vloggers and why I hate family vloggers. And then there are a select group of subscribers who watch me for my Without a Crystal Ball commentary because they've left her channel and they don't want to give her the view time. So they come to mine instead and listen to what I have to say about certain subject matters. So anyway, not obsessed. I would encourage all of her subscribers to look for the light, because one day you will see it. But for now, if you like the video, please leave me a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.